This is a section of engineering that we spend a lot of money on. It's the parts section. So when you look over here, it might not look like much, but you can see these reels here? So on these reels are, about 10,000, what are these? These are resistors. And you see how tiny these things are? They are so small, you can barely see them. These are resistors. They're surface mount resistors. We have transistors, we have capacitors, all on these reels that go into a kind of a machine that called a pick and place. Oh gosh, there's transistors, there's integrated circuits, there's IC logic. What is this? This is a line receiver. This is a series of chokes, which are inductors. This is, I mean, uh, it goes on and on and on. There's so much stuff here. This is the mono test board for the BHK amplifier. And here is, oh God, sorry. That is one channel in the BHK amplifier. This monster weighs a bloody ton. These are the power supply capacitors for it. This is the board. These are the output resistors. These are this row here is that's a clamp on the heatsink that pushes down all the transistors. These are all MOSFET transistors. So lots of stuff here. So this parts department, even Nipper likes it. He looks around for food out here because Nipper likes to eat stuff. All right. Bruce in Austin, Texas writes, how loud is too loud? A recent video told of the story where the systems owner bombarded you and then said a beer or two really helps. That was the guy at Pacific Stereo. I prefer to play at a level that I feel realistically portrays real life, whether it's acoustic or amplified. So what do you listen to when determining the optimal gain level when listening to any particular recording? Bruce, you've already got it. Realistic. And I've preached this for years. Every track of music has a perfect volume level. A little less, a little more, wrong. Just plain wrong. In particular, there is a level that we reach. Well, let me back up just a little bit, as I like to do. If I told you that this particular track is perfect at 72 on the volume control, and we had identical preamplifiers, that would be meaningless to you, because unless you have an identical system in an identical room, you're not going to be able to duplicate my loudness level that's perfect, because loudness concerns the room, the system, the whole bit. But you'll know it when you hear it, right? So one of the tests that I have, and you develop these over the years, when an instrument gets too large, so if we've got a violin playing and all of a sudden that violin becomes bigger than a real violin, generally it's too loud. Generally too loud. If my voice, if I'm singing or talking and I'm in, your stereo system, if it's too small, if there's no presence, it's too low in volume. And the same, if it's too big to be lifelike, it's probably too loud. So Bruce gets it, and we want to make sure that others try and understand it. And I wish I had a better way of teaching this, of describing it, of making that information available to you, because it's really, really important. I do it through training. When we are at a show, we do a lot of trade shows. Well, not a lot. We do trade shows. Rocky Mountain Audio Fest in Denver. We're going to do Exponent this year. This will be our second time. We did it with the guys. I'm having a brain fart right now with the big tall speak. Anyway, it's hard getting old. Brain farts on a daily basis. In any case, we're going to Exponent. But when we play music, there's a specific volume level that I try and train the guys not to look for on the iPad or the preamp control as far as a number. That might work for a starting point, but that volume level changes with the number of people in the room. All right. So if I'm sitting in the room and I crank up one of my favorite tracks, which would be the old Buddy Holly. I've got a couple of Buddy Holly songs that are really terrific. And there's a perfect volume where Buddy sounds like he's in the room, okay? And it's not an orchestra, but it's sort of a little bit of a band playing. Sounds perfectly natural. Bring in 10 people into the room, and those bodies absorb more sound, and now all of a sudden, it's not the right level. I got to turn it up. And they leave, I got to turn it down. So there are no hard and fast rules other than training your ear to listen for when it's natural and when it's right. And when you hit that, you got the right volume level. And like I say, there is a correct volume level, not number, level for every single track, room, and system out there. And you got to train yourself to be able to do that. Work on it. You'll get it. You really will. Thanks. Great question. Bye-bye.